of photography.
What does this David Spindel photograph say? Mike L. Jackson. And this? Nobel Prize. And of course, cold cash.
Ideally, when I see people looking at my photographs, the idea I want to get across is that they have some enjoyment, and it takes more, like people go to the movies to escape from reality to some extent. And through my photography, I'm sort of escaping myself, and I just like people to look at it and get enjoyment. There's too many things we see around us where, you know, we get very depressed, looking at a newspaper, you hear the news, you never hear anything good happening. So through my photography, I like to try and do things that make people happy. I do these things known as rebuses. And what a rebus is, it's the use of visual symbols to describe words. Like the Guinness Book of World Records, I made up a book that looks like, you know, a book, but inside are physical records that have a map of the world on it. So it's the Guinness Book of World Records. And I started doing these things, and I must have a series of close to 90 photographs that I've done now. Some of them, you know, I like to take statements that people say every day and turn it into a visual image. Sometimes some of the things I think of take a long time to put together in terms of getting the props together or making the props, but the end result, the physical shot, I can spend, like I say, months preparing it. But the end result, when I see it, I'm thrilled with it. Just recently I came up with this idea for a photograph called Grand Opening, which involved a little room set. And what I did is, in the back of my mind, I recall having a lot of things around the house that I felt would come in useful for this shot. It was just a question of remembering where I put them, because so many things I get are, you know, like the size of a dime. But in essence, the idea of this grand opening was to produce a little room set with a $1,000 bill, which is $1,000, and have it opening. Originally, I thought of just using the image of the president on the bill opening up, but that wasn't sophisticated, in essence, for me enough. It had to go further. When I got the idea to make a doorway of, like, the $1,000 bill, I cut it in half and mounted it on blocks of wood. I got little doorknobs in a dollhouse place near me. Initially had an idea how I wanted it. I put it together, I did a test shot, got the film back from the lab, and I started, you know, nitpicking with myself to refine little things, highlights on little things, too much shadow, something too bright. Because when you're working with something that small, it's very difficult to take meter readings and work out the light balance between the things that you see with your eye. Your eye can't, well, your eye adjusts to a certain degree, but the film sees everything just the way it is. And your eye doesn't have enough sensitivity to handpick the difference between two little light tones. So when I finally get the shot and I look at it and I want to fill in a shadow a little bit more, rather than use another light source, I'll take a little piece of cardboard, whether it be a plain white piece of cardboard, or a lot of times I'll use a dull silver or shiny silver, depending on how much I want to fill in the shadow. And you can do the same things whether you're doing portraits or any type of photography. It's the controlling of the light that's most important. One of the things that I find unique about my photography is, technically, I'm getting paid to do my hobby. I love it so much, and I just keep doing it, and there's no end to it. I mean, to get paid to do something you like to do is the ultimate in life. I mean, how many of us work every day and get a paycheck at the end of the week, and what do we have to show for it other than a piece of paper that we can go out and buy things with? Most of us do a job because you have to earn a living, per se. I earn a living, but I don't even think about it as earning a living. I'm doing what I love to do all day long, and all night sometimes. And I just keep doing it, and somewhere along the line, money comes in and pays for it. And I say, that's great, I'm getting paid, I'm having fun, and someone's paying me to have fun. That's the ultimate.